Welcome back, everybody, to the Kansas City Royals franchise here in MLB The Show 21. And in this episode, we have the draft. I'm going to explain how the custom prospects are going to work here as we take a look at some of the picks ahead of our first round pick at number 7. So I'll explain to you guys how the custom prospects are going to work. I hope that I can get through it here pretty quickly. It is kind of a process, and it's got to be a fair process. So I do want to explain that to you guys. If you're not interested in this little section here, please skip over to 9 minutes and 34 seconds. That's where the actual video will start with gameplay. We got a minor league update, we got pro level update as well, we got stats update. This is a loaded episode, and I'm just glad that you guys are here for it. All right, so let's talk about the draft process and how it's going to work. So at the very beginning of this series, I asked you guys to fill out a open submission form, and you knew that these prospects that you submitted were going to be a 60 overall player coming into the league. They were going to be drafted as a 60 overall. They had a C potential to their name. You also have the opportunity to subscribe through Patreon to donate to the channel, donate to the cause, help the channel, help me in the process, create this content, right? So obviously there's different tiers. $20 patrons get a 75 overall prospect with an A potential. $10 patrons get a 70 overall player with a B potential. So on and so forth, there's different tiers. So how the draft is going to work is obviously, since we can't rename players in the draft, or we can't create classes, we can't create players in a draft, you have to draft the players first, the CPU generated ones, and then in the offseason you got to be able to rename them, change their appearance, change their attributes, positions, so on and so forth. So how the draft is working here is I'm going to be drafting the CPU generated guys because I don't know how it's all going to work out in the end. So we're looking at this guy like Brooks Ratto in right field. I've talked about the outfield situation for Kansas City as being a need to potentially find a guy that we can build around, a nice young player. I feel like Brooks Ratto can do that. So we draft him. We're also looking at a third baseman because I've identified third and first base as positions that we need to get a little bit younger at. So you guys can kind of see how this is working, right? So we've got the CPU drafting fake guys. I'm drafting fake guys. In the end, the end game here, what we're looking at is once in the off season, I can actually go and I can edit players on the CPU's roster. I can edit their appearance and ratings, equipment, anything, names, all of it. And that's how we're going to do this. So $20 patrons will be listed first. They could be potentially picked number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, depending on how many that we have. So we'll start with $20 patrons on a wheel spin. So, for example, we'll have the Pittsburgh Pirates up first. We'll do the wheel spin. They'll take a $20 patron. Texas Rangers will be up number 2. They'll take a $20 patron, so on and so forth until that tier is done. We'll then move to $10 patrons. Until that tier's done, we'll move to 5, we'll move to 3, and then we'll move to open submission prospects at 60 overall C potential players. So I like the process. I think the wheel spin idea is fair. I think it brings in a sense of randomness to it too, and I think it really helps me stay in check so I'm not cheesing the game. Because I know that it's hard to kind of avoid that sometimes. It's really hard to avoid that sometimes. Sometimes you feel like because there's a custom on the board, you've got to draft it. And I think the process, the wheel spin process, it adds a sense of randomness, realism, and fun to the whole thing too. There's a good chance that if the Royals are like number 20 in the draft, we might not get a custom player. When we start getting good, we might not get one. And that sense of randomness actually is good for you guys too that are watching this series, because then there's a sense of, okay, my guy got drafted by Texas, or my guy got drafted by Cleveland. We might end up having a big series against Cleveland down the road, like in year number 4 or something, and your player is a big part of that success for the Cleveland Indians, which would be kind of cool to watch in gameplay, to go up against your guy. Is he going to hit a home run off us? Is he going to make us pay? Like, what's going to happen? So storylines-wise, I think it's really fun to start diving deeper into that aspect of this series. Is it going to suck if you really wanted to play for Kansas City and you got drafted somewhere else? Yes. But, again, you might not decide to re-sign with Cleveland. You could become a free agent, and I could go out and I could go try to get you off of free agency. So I think it adds some fun to the series. It would be one thing if every player on the Kansas City Royals was a custom prospect. I think that's a little cheesy in some instances. So like, could you imagine if we only had $20, $10, $5 patrons on our team? We would be in the World Series by like year 4. I mean, it's almost a guarantee. You know what's coming, right? Versus like with this kind of format, you don't really have any idea. Are the guys that we drafted, like Brooks Ratto, is he going to pan out? Or is he going to flame out? This guy like Sean Santana, is he going to be one of the guys that gets renamed? If so, he might end up being a little bit better than he was when he came in. But he'd be renamed to somebody else, and Sean Santana would no longer exist. So that's the tough part about balancing custom prospects and the fun side of it. But you also want to be a little fair to it. You want to not cheese it. And I feel like that process is the best way to go about it. So in regard to your open submission players, you guys can see like for the Braves here down at the bottom, like Andres Manuel, Robert Monroe, 2 starting pitchers. If your open submission player gets drafted there, then those would probably be the 2 guys that I rename. Or like Garrett Bullington for the Texas Rangers, Greg German, Brian Tran here at third base, Bobby Brindell, Shannon Piedra. So those types of guys at the very bottom of each team's list, those will be the dudes that are part of your open submission. Now this guy or these 2 guys are 84s. That'd be really hard for me to make that call that those guys are going to be the ones that are gone. Because Minnesota, they did a good job cleaning up at the back end of that draft. So they picked those guys, and they deserve to keep those guys. Their scouting department obviously did a good job to find them. They deserve to keep those dudes. Looking at the All-Star voting here really quick now that we're getting into the stats updates of our roster. Whit Merrifield leading in second base votes. That's awesome. I hope that he can hang on and win that. Now, Jorge Soler has been really making a push there in the All-Star voting for right field. So a lot of home runs for him. His batting average needs to come up a little bit, but I think he can get there. Just a matter of if the CPU is going to allow him to do that in our simulation games. All right, so taking a look at some of our stats updates here. You guys can see the pitching staff is pretty decent all the way across the board. Not too many blow-up performances from many of our guys, other than Chris Bubich, who is not pitching well. You guys saw that a little bit earlier. We got to figure that out. Lefty, A potential, really want him to succeed for us, but for whatever reason, it's just not translating in simulated gameplay. Looking at Josh Stelmont here, 9 ERA, very low sample size though, so we got to get him out there a little bit more, see what else he can do. Don't fall for that ERA just yet. Salvador Perez, 160. Not good, not good. So for whatever reason, the CPU just doesn't love Salvador Perez. I don't know what that's about, but you got to keep sticking him out there. You got to keep giving him at-bats to get him out of that little funk. Maybreeze Valoria, you guys saw him, 329. We'll take a look at him in this AAA update gameplay as well. Ryan McBroom, a guy coming off the bench here, 120 at-bats, 180 batting average compared to what Ryan O'Hearn is doing down in AAA. You got to give O'Hearn the call. You got to give O'Hearn the call. Plus, McBroom has 3 more options left. I can't have a catcher that's hitting 160 and then having a DH at some points in times with Ryan McBroom hitting 180. I can't have 2 guys hitting below the Mendoza line. Can't do it. So we're going to call up Ryan McBroom to be another left-handed at-bat. He'll play first base right behind Carlos Santana. All right, let's take a look at second base. Obviously, Whit Merrifield is continuing to rake. Eric Mejia has actually been a surprise down there at the AAA level, so I'm impressed with what he's been able to do. Third base, Hunter Dozier hitting 200. Hanser Alberto still hitting very well. Bobby Witt doing about 270. And Jason Guzman, we're going to take a look at hitting 383 down at AAA. So I like the production across the board. Benintendi 275. Blake Perkins down there in AAA 329, I think was the batting average there for him. Center field, Tyler Naquin hitting 235. I hope that he can get to be about a 250 hitter. If he can somehow get to 270, that would be huge for his development. It'd be huge for the team to play good defense and hit about 270. That would be absolutely big for this roster and what we're trying to do with it in the long term. 32-22, Omaha Storm Chasers taking on the Minnesota Twins affiliates, the St. Paul Saints. We've got Jackson Kowar out on the mound. We're taking on Joan Duran. 3-4, 6.52, 1.72 whip. So I feel like we can jump on this guy a little bit here, do some damage early, knock him out, make him feel it, get to that bullpen, but so far, Kyle Isbell is going to lead us off here with an out. Hit it hard, but just missed it a little bit. But guess who didn't miss it? Eric Mejia, a guy that I'm really excited about eventually getting the call-up here at the big league level. Maybe a September call-up. Maybe if he keeps hitting, maybe we can bring him up here a little bit earlier. 0-2 account for Ryan McBroom, who was hitting 180 at the big league level, sends a line drive to the opposite side of the field. Mejia is going to score. That's an RBI double for the newcomer. That's got to feel good, man, especially when the user is hitting for you and not the CPU, right? Well, Mabry's Valoria is probably wishing the CPU could continue to hit for him. He was hitting 329. I think I dropped his batting average to 328. Either way, Mabry's going to strike out. And sometimes I think I push a little bit, guys. I push a little bit with guys that I want to have success, like Valoria, Naquin, guys that I'm really trying to back. And I really want them to do well so that you guys are on board with me to keep them or bring them up, so on and so forth. Hopefully we pitch well with Jackson Kowar. Just kind of let it happen. Guys pitching well. 5-2, 2.66, about a 1-2 whip at the AAA level. Might even consider a call-up, considering Chris Bubich's performances lately have not been very good, so I'm really eyeing this performance from Jackson Kowar. Take a look at this throw from right field. Shallow right field. Runner was a little bit too far off the bag. I thought we possibly could have had that double play, but take a look at this play in left field. Like, we just did not time up the carom off the wall. It's kind of a little funky little wall there in foul territory, but either way, Garlick is going to roll in with a double. Now with runners on first, or second and third, I should say, we got a little bit of a jam, but we do get out of it. So Kowar pitches well out of the jam. Now we got a runner on first base, and look at Valoria throw here. Like, the runner did not even stand a chance. Valoria absolutely guns Lewis down. That's going to be out number 2. So good defense all the way around for Jackson Kowar is helping his cause to possibly getting called up. 2-2 count. Fly ball lifted to center field, and this play will be made, and we're out of the inning. All right, let's jump ahead to the bottom of the third. So our offense just does not do much in the next inning. The next half inning, I should say. So we go to the bottom of the third. We get a little ground ball to short. Next batter up. Another ground ball here to short. Jason Guzman makes the play. Oh, nice play by Ryan McBroom, too, by the way. Making that pick play look easy. Hangs with it for the out. Fortunately, he does strike out. High and inside fastball by Duran. Just make it look easy himself. Mabry's Valoria going to ground out here to second. But he did hit the ball hard, so currently 0 for 2 on the game. But, you know, if continue to put the ball in play, hit it hard, that's what matters. Eventually they're going to fall. Olivares strikes out with a check swing attempt. So we go quietly in the 4th inning. Jackson Kowar getting his first strikeout of the game. That's actually really surprising to me. With his stuff, his ability, it's kind of surprising that it took all the way to the 4th inning to at least get 2 strikeouts, as Roydvet is going to K as well. Good off-speed pitch to get him looking. Jason Guzman going to send a hard hit single right back up the middle with a 1-2 count. That's a very good approach to just go back up the middle. He's going to attempt a stolen base here, but whoa! Oh, the throw was there, but that little one hop, the bounce, I think cost him the out here. We got Perkins grounding out here to first base. They make the play, but the runner will advance to third. We got Kelvin Gutierrez coming up here with an 0-2 count and a little slider that just passes the catcher, but oh no! We get thrown out at home plate again. How many times has this happened in this dang series so far, man? I just can't. Either I think my guys are too fast, or the CPU is just making some really good defensive plays. Either way, Jackson Kowar comes out, gets another strikeout, gets us out of the bottom of the 5th. We go to the top of the 6th inning, and here's Alex Kirilloff trying to make a play, but Kyle Isbell gets on safely with a single. 1 down, Eric Mejia showing some surprising pop. This is really surprising. He's got some power in that bat, so I'm really, like I said, I'm excited about this prospect here going forward. But he does get the fly out to center, and Ryan McBroom flies out to right. So Omaha still can't scratch across another run to help Kowar out and getting some insurance here. Now take a look at this play. Eric Mejia going up against Keon Broxton. He's a fast runner, and he nails him. Wow, he's playing so well. He's got some pop. He plays good defensively. He's been doing really, really well for us here in this gameplay so far. We get a strikeout here. So Kowar still pitching well. Then we send a long fly ball with Mabry's Valoria, but look who's there. Ryan Garlick. It's just unreal, man. So Valoria's hitting the ball hard everywhere. He had one strikeout earlier. Again, just can't get anything to fall for the guy. Kind of disappointing output tonight. Bottom of the 7th, one down, and Ben Rortvedt going to come up huge with a solo home run that's going to tie the game. You know, it's kind of disappointing that he gave up that solo home run. I mean, I'm still going with Kowar. That home run does not faze me at all. We're going to keep him out there. We're going to keep rolling with him. He's got about 70 some odd pitches right now in the bottom of the 7th. You got to keep rolling with the guy. He's got enough confidence. But, dude, Ryan McBroom, that is a terrible effort. What are you doing, man? Do you want to get back to the majors or not? That's absolutely brutal effort. You got to help your pitcher out. Got to get outs here in the bottom of the 7th. We're late in the game. You got to give a little effort. There we go. That's better. God. Got to make up for it there. But Kyle Barraclaw going to check in here in a tie ball game. He's going to strike out Blake Perkins, so he can't put the ball in play. And then our next batter comes up, and that's going nowhere. Except into Keon Broxton's glove. So it's still 1-1. Still got to get it done, guys. Got to get it done. Jackson Kowar still out there in the bottom of the 8th inning. 0-2 count. Fly ball deep. Gonna make the catch. It's 3-10 out there to left field, like at the wall, near the line. I mean, it's kind of a short porch out there, so we got to be careful. And I think that's gonna be it for Kowar. So he gave us 8 solid innings, guys. 1-run baseball. That's an amazing performance. We got to consider the call up here, but Valoria 0 for 3 already on the day, turns into 0 for 4. Hit the ball hard again at first, but just right at somebody. Again, it just can't get anything to fall. Let's go to the bottom of the 9th, and Wade Davis coming on to hold these guys in check. He gets the fine play at first base, fielding his position nicely. We take a look one more time at Kowar's number. 5 Ks, 8 innings, only 1 earned. Played well. Now Ben Rortvedt going to line drive it back at Kelvin Gutierrez at third. He makes the play. Adam Lau checks in to kind of hold us down. So a lot of bullpen matching up here. But we do get a base hit in the top of the 11th. So that's what we're skipping ahead to. We're going to the top of the 11th. So we are in extra innings a little bit later than we should be. I was hoping we could end it in the 10th. But we do get a bunt here from Kyle Isbell. But take a look at this play. Williams Astudillo. What can't this guy do? What can he not do? Look at this play. It's like a Bartolo Colon play. Like the big man makes a little flip because he knows he can't plant and make the throw. So we do move the runner over to second base, but look at Ryan McBroom. There you go, baby. That's what we're talking about. Wanted to show a little effort on defense. I called him out. Went into the dugout, called him out. Made the play at first. Now he comes up huge with another RBI double. He gave us the lead in the first inning. Now he gives us the lead back. So he's been an integral piece today in this 2-1 possible victory. But again, Mabry's Valoria, another line drive out. So he goes 0 for 5 today if we can get this W. So Anthony Swarzak comes in. We get a fly ball out in right field. 0-2 count here. Let's get a strikeout, shall we? Let's get a strikeout. Nope. That's going to be a base knock, guys. Base hit to center field. And the throw does come in. The challenge by Rob Refsnyder. So he challenges the throw, gets into second base. We do intentionally walk Williams Astudillo because, hey, he hits a home run, they win the game. That's a 2-run homer. It's pointless to try to pitch to him. You got to set yourself up for a double play ball in that situation with 1 down. So we do walk him. Anyway, Kyle Garlick flies out. So we've got 2 down with 2 runners on. In the bottom of the 11th, you got to get this guy right here. Swarzak, high and outside fastball, strikes him out, and the Storm Chasers will win this game. Very hard-fought W. Good W all the way around. I'm impressed with how we fought. I like some of the young guys that we were able to see tonight. Obviously, a guy like Swarzak is more of a veteran presence in that back end. Wade Davis as well. But offensively, I wanted Valoria to do a little bit more. I wanted Olivares possibly to do a little bit more. But I felt like overall McBroom had a good game, even though that defensive gaffe was a little frustrating. Valoria, like I mentioned, I wish that he had gotten a hit, maybe a couple hits. Mejia was putting the ball in play too. Guys were hitting the ball hard off of Joan Duran and their bullpen. So I'm impressed with the win. It was a good win. Good pitching by Jackson Kowar as well. And we're going to take a look at a situation that's developing. Do we want to give Jackson Kowar the call? He's 67 overall right now. He's improving. He's got the A potential. He's on the upswing. Asa Lacy's been pitching great as well. He's a 68, but at AA. Hasn't been doing it at the AAA level. Not to say that a guy at the AA level can't do it at the Major League level, but we got to make a call, right? Chris Bubich not cutting it for me. So I move him down to AAA, and we're going to give Jackson Kowar the call to the bigs. And guys, you're going to see him in action against the Detroit Tigers. He's going to make his Major League debut in this episode as a top 50 prospect in front of the hometown faithful against the worst team in the AL Central, the Detroit Tigers. A little bit rainy here at Kauffman Stadium, so a little bit less than ideal of a weather situation, but everything else, all the stars are lining here. Kowar's been on a hot streak. He's been pitching well. You see his numbers there. You're at home. You don't have to worry about the road fans getting on you, heckling you. And you're playing the Detroit Tigers. So, my Detroit Tigers. So, you're in a good spot here. You're in a real good spot here. The first pitch, though, for Kowar is going to be a ball outside to Victor Reyes. We're currently in second place in the AL Central, so if we can get some solid starts from that back end of the rotation with Kowar leading the charge, we might be able to make some noise here. But that is going to be his first Major League strikeout. Victor Reyes goes down swinging. And make sure you guys throwing the ball around in the infield. Don't drop it. Don't muddy that thing up. That's a keepsake. Kowar's going to want that one back after you guys are done messing around with it. So next batter up is going to be Harold Castro, and sends a fly ball all the way out to right field. Soler can't handle it, and I think maybe he ran out of juice, because my controller did. I don't know why I dove for that. I think I had Tyler Naquin syndrome after making that catch in the last episode. I thought I could make that, and I totally couldn't. But Miggy comes into this at-bat with 499 career home runs, and Jackson Kowar makes a statement on that infield little grounder to him. He makes that throw look easy, throws it hard to first base, gets the out, also gets the strikeout here against Renato Nunez. And we get 2 Ks for Jackson Kowar in his first inning of Major League action. All right, let's take a look at Jose Urena against our lineup. Benintendi going to ground out here to Renato Nunez, who struck out earlier. Next batter here, Whit Merrifield, is going to send a long fly ball. This is what we want right here. A gap shot. Could be out. Nope, definitely not. Going to land inside the gap, and it's going to be a triple. Whit Merrifield rounds second, heads for third, is in safely, so we get a triple back. Harold Castro had a triple. Now Whit has a triple. And are we finally going to score on a pass ball? Oh my God. We finally scored on a pass ball. What do you know? So Urena can't find the control. Must be a little bit slippery out there with the baseball, with the grip. Got to use sticky stuff, right? In this situation, got to use sticky stuff. Jorge Soler going to continue the hitting parade. A 2-out double is going to give an opportunity here to Hunter Dozier. But take a look at this. Jake Rogers can't handle it, and Urena is not going to get to third. It's a hustle play that he didn't try for. And Soler's going to get to third, but no matter, because Hunter Dozier is going to strike out. Nomar Mazara, top of the second inning, is going to fly out here to right fielder. Jorge Soler makes the play. Tyler Naquin, base hits on the right side of the infield. Nice little 2-out single here, keeping our offense going, potentially. Michael Taylor, base knock back up the middle. So let's keep that line moving, guys. We got runners on first and second base with 2 down. Who's coming up? We got Alberto Mondesi going to lay down a bunt with 2 outs. And look at this play. Harold Castro can't get the throw off. Too much speed for Mondesi. And the next batter, Andrew Benintendi. Grand slam. Ooh, what a shot. 103.6 mile per hour exit velo on that swing, man. He got all of that. Grand slam for Benny. And it's going to put Kansas City up 5-0 here in the bottom of the second inning. So Urena has been just obliterated. A lot of pass balls. A lot of pressure being put on him. We're not done yet. We're not done with the hitting parade. Whit Merrifield comes up big, hits another gap shot in right center, and he's going to round second and head for third. He's going for 2 triples. Throw comes in, not in time. Whit Merrifield with 2 triples already in this game, and it's only the 2nd inning. It's absolutely crazy what we've been doing against Jose Urania. They finally take him out, and through 77 innings, Scooble's got a 5+ ERA, so he's not been pitching great, and Jorge Soler continues that trend for Tigers pitching. Just been a little sloppy. Let's go to Kowar's top of the 3rd. Here's a ground ball back at him, and he sticks with it. He hangs with it, makes the easy throw to first, gets the out. Let's go to the top of the 4th. Harold Castro hit the triple off of him earlier, gets him to strike out, looking high and inside. Let's go to Miguel Cabrera's next at bat. He's looking for that 500th home run. This one's in the outfield grass, and Mondesi, what a play. Adalberto Mondesi has been so good defensively in this series. It's been unreal how good he's been. I love him at shortstop right now. Let's go to the bottom of the 5th inning, and this will be the first run for Detroit. You knew the CPU was not going to be held down to a shutout, right? It's 6-1 after a solo home run for Mazara, but Kowar's still pitching good. I'm not concerned. I'm not taking him out. It's just a pitch that hung too much in the middle of the plate. He's going to get the ground ball out here, and we're going to go ahead and extend this game out to the top of the 7th for you guys. We're going to cut it short a little bit. But top of the 7th, Jonathan Scope gets a strikeout. Registered to his name. Kowar challenging him inside. Good pitch. Way late. Jammed him. Nomar Mazara. It's a big spot for Kowar and the Royals. 6-1. If Mazara had hit that home run, it's 6-4. So the game just totally changes. But Tyler Alexander comes on up, guys, in the bottom of the 7th, and the Royals are still looking to do damage. We're not done. We're not done. We want more. We want more. Tyler Alexander, lefty on righty. Jorge Soler says, "Get up off me." 2-run shot. 8-1 in the bottom of the 7th inning, and the hit parade continues, guys. That is going to do it. I'll show you guys the final out of the game. It's Greg Holland against Nunez. That's a fly ball to right field. And Soler makes the play, guys. The rain has stopped. But the smiles haven't. Everybody's happy in KC. Really good start for Jackson Kowar. Offense was amazing today. Gotta love the output that we had all across the board. We had 13 hits on 8 runs. Gotta love that production, guys. I love it. I love it. Benintendi with a grand slam. That's what really set the tone. And then, of course, we had the 2-run shot from Jorge Soler. But what else is there to say about Jackson Kowar? Gameplay, he's elite, man. He's got multiple strikeouts. Only 1 earned run was the solo home run. And really, between gameplay that we've seen him in, he's only given up 2 earned runs, and both were solo shots. So he continues to pitch well. I'm excited to see what he's going to do here down the stretch. Now, we start July off with a 4-game winning streak. We lose to Cincinnati, win against Cincinnati in the 2nd game of the series. 3rd game of the series is coming up. I won't show this one. We're going to go ahead and play Cleveland. We're going to play that Cleveland series, and then we'll get into some All-Star highlights. We got Home Run Derby, and we got All-Star Game to take a look at. I'll give you guys a little update on who made it there at the end of the video. And as you guys can see, we are currently 7.5 games back from first place in the American League Central. We're 7.5 games back in the wild card. So a lot of teams playing some good baseball ahead of us. We have to, if we want to make the playoffs, we got to find it within ourselves here in the month of July. We really do. We got about maybe 2 more weeks. We got 2 weeks to make a push, and if we don't make a hard enough push, I might have to consider starting to sell some pieces off, like Danny Duffy, Mike Minor, guys like that, Carlos Santana, maybe. I don't want to say. I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe Whit Merrifield. Maybe he's our all-star this season. So maybe Jorge Soler probably would fetch a lot of value, like we talked about in episode 1. Little stats update. You guys can see the stats there for yourself. You don't need me to repeat the numbers there for you, but yeah, I would I would think if we're willing to acquire some pieces, if we're playing good baseball in the next couple weeks, if we're making a real push for a wild card spot or a division title, then yeah, then I would totally consider trying to bring some guys in. However, if we start falling flat on our face here, then I got to make a choice, and I think you got to get rid of some aging dudes like Carlos Santana, for example. He'd be like the prime guy that would be moved on from this year. So we'll see what happens at the deadline. We'll see what happens here in the next 2 weeks, and we'll go from there. But so far, I'm really liking what this team's been able to do. Like we haven't been one of the worst teams in all of baseball. We've been hanging in there with a lot of the big boys, and it's been a really impressive little mini run here. Mondesi's doing fine. He's been contributing very nicely for a defensive-minded shortstop, a speedy guy, good fielder. Benintendi's finding a little bit of a renaissance there, hitting 270, doing fine. Perkins down in AAA, doing good. Naquin's been contributing as well. Michael Taylor, 230. I mean, this team as a whole, we're getting good production out of everybody involved, which is a good sign for me that these next 2 weeks might actually be pretty impressive. So let's move on from statistic updates to see who's in the All-Star race. We've got Whit Merrifield and Jorge Soler, so perfect. Good. I hope those guys make it. A little stats update from around the league, since we haven't really done this in this series, so you guys kind of get an idea of who's doing what. We've got batting average leaders with Rendon and Merrifield. I love to see that. I want Merrifield to get that number 1 spot. Royals need some recognition. Home run leaders, we've got JD Martinez and Jorge Soler. So no doubt Jorge Soler is going to be involved in the home run derby. Gotta love that. Out in Coors, I hope he wins it. That's what I want to see. Stolen bases, we're leading the way with Mondesi in first place there. We got a top 10 player with on-base percentage with Carlos Santana. Gotta like that. Pitching wins, we're not totally there. We're not even anywhere close to that. Our pitching is very young. It's got some ways to go, but ERA-wise, we're not really on that list either. Shutouts, not on the list. Strikeouts, didn't see anybody on the list there. We're moving kind of fast, but that's going to be it for the video, guys. Leave a like if you like this thing. We've got, in the next episode, we've got some home run derby. We've got all-star action. We've got trade deadline. We've got a lot of things to talk about, including call-ups as well. So guys, leave a like if you like this thing. I will see you later on this week for the next episode. As always, peace.